6:50 in our Smart Start for Wednesday. Breaking news overnight on this massive scene. A 4-alarm fire ripped through the historic Morgan Manning house on the west side in Brockport.
Yeah, the two-story building dates back to the mid-1850s and for decades has been preserved by a group of citizens. They stocked it with artwork, even refurbished it after a separate fire in the 1960s. Aron Spitzer joins us live in Brockport, showing us what's left of the building. Aron.
Yeah, guys, this area is still taped off, and there are authorities around watching the building, making sure nobody goes in. As you can see here, windows broken out, roof collapsed. So the structure sustained quite a bit of damage. Now, fire crews got the call just before 7 last night here on Main Street for smoke coming from the basement. That fire lasted well after 11:30 when several agencies were finally able to knock it down. This is what the scene looked like when our News 8 crews first arrived. Parts of the roof collapsed and several windows were broken out. As I mentioned, a large portion of Brockport was blanketed with smoke as a result of the flames, and firefighters say they had to be pulled out of the building at one point as some of the second floors started to cave in.
Part of the roof had collapsed. There's reports that some of the second floors collapsed down into the first floor. A lot of void spaces in old houses, and the fire was able to spread throughout the upper floor of the house or the structure, and really just couldn't get a hold of the fire before it got beyond the point of being out of control.
Devastating. It's very sad. It's a piece of history right here. It's irreplaceable. So, and seeing this amount of fire happening is concerning for the amount of damage that's happening inside.
Now, as we mentioned, in 1964, there was a fire that caused some major damage here. We're told that there was a meeting meant to be held at the building at around the time that the fire was discovered. This is all very much still under investigation. For now, reporting, Aron Spitzer, News 8.
All right. Thank you very much, Aron. Of course, stay with us as we continue learning more about this fire and its potential cause. We'll update you on air and online at rochesterfirst.com.
At 6:52, sunrise traffic and a view from our Greater Rock Sky Eye. The issues we have so far in Webster on the Bay Bridge. 104 eastbound got an accident blocking the right lane. In Brighton, 590 southbound, a slow go near Elmwood Avenue due to a crash as well. Just please take it safe as we had decent snowfall overnight. James, depending on where you were with the lake effect, a couple inches here and there.
Yeah, that's right. And believe it or not, we're getting some spots with a little blue. Some clear skies.
Yeah, let's try to. Make it cold.
Barely enough to see the sunrise.
How about that? But you go a few miles north and you still got snow.
Yep, there you go. Yeah,
so
pitch
really
black in Charlotte.
Exactly. And that is looking east, too.
Yeah, and look at the little flakes trying to make their way down to the ground.
They're working hard. Temperatures right now in the teens. We get into the 20s this afternoon. We'll take a look at the 8-day forecast at the end of the show. Michaela?
Thank you there, James. Happening today, the man convicted of shooting and injuring an East Rochester police officer, Brad Steve, is set to be sentenced. Back in November, a jury found Raymond Noel, the defendant here, guilty of attempted aggravated murder as well as assault on a police officer, among with other gun crimes. Last January, Steve and another officer responded to a domestic call on Garfield Street. That is when police say they saw Noel in the driveway with a gun. They ordered him to take his hands out of his pockets, and officers say Noel went to go back inside but then aimed a gun at Officer Steve. That officer fired first. Noel fired multiple shots in return, hitting Steve in the chest, but luckily that officer's vest is what saved his life. Noel faces a maximum 40 years in prison, with sentencing set to start today at 11.
Happening tonight in prime time, President Biden will give his farewell address to the nation. That is his last significant speech to the American people before he leaves the White House come Monday. His remarks are scheduled for 8, and those will be coming from the Oval Office.
Rochester City Council member Mary Lupien will challenge incumbent Mayor Malik Evans in his bid for re-election. Though Lupien plans a formal announcement later this month, she did confirm this decision to News 8 last night. Lupien, a Democrat, has championed tenant rights and housing affordability from her seat on the council. She's also a resident of the North Winton Village, attracting some attention by taking controversial positions on issues like police funding and a Gaza ceasefire resolution. This news follows Evans's own announcement announcement where he notes a drop in violent crime under his watch, as well as investments in projects like Rock the Riverway.
If you or someone in the family, a friend, has thought about going back to school, the chance to do so at nearly no cost could be on the way. The governor proposed in her State of the State address a plan offering free tuition to state and city colleges. The initiative is for students going for associate degrees in certain high-demand programs such as nursing or teaching, and it's for New Yorkers between the age of 25 and 55. The new plan would also pay for their books, other fees, which would not be part of the current Excelsior Scholarship Tuition Assistance Program.
What the governor did correctly is she is bridging the gap between the workforce needs, healthcare being one, but also some of the high-tech manufacturing jobs that are coming to our region, and these community colleges that can do the training. So by taking away the financial barrier, it gives Rochesterians the ability to retrain and get better paying jobs.
SUNY Chancellor John King issued a statement saying the proposal from the governor will literally transform lives for hardworking New Yorkers. We've got more reaction and details on each of the proposals from the State of the State at rochesterfirst.com. Final weather here, James.
Yeah, we've got more cold, more snow. Those both things happening. Flakes flying this afternoon. Another inch, couple more tomorrow as well. Friday, finally we get a break and a little bit of a warm up there, low 30s. Then Saturday, kind of a mix there. And then, yes, the rumbles are true that you hear about the bitter cold air next week. Highs in the low teens, wind chills way in the negative.
1 degree and the wind chills?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Make you feel well below. That does it for us. We'll see you back here in 30.
Have a great day.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on rochesterfirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather.